Greetings from the Beach Hut. I was tagged by Brigitte and Cornelia, Baby Cake 390, to do the highlights of 2012 tag. So I am jumping on to do that tag now. If you haven't seen Baby Cake 390 channel, it's a lot of fun to watch. Two sisters enjoy makeup as much as they do. So jump on and watch that, subscribe to them. But let me go ahead and dive into the questions. The first question, which makeup brand stood out to you most in 2012? And they ask about Drugstore and High End. 2012 to me was all about going natural. The thing that stood out for me was the way that I shop, the way that I think about products, and the way that I apply products. So all of that changed for me in 2012. If I had to say a drugstore, I'm going to go with something called the All Natural Face, just because they have drugstore prices, but it is a product line that I do get online. Many people have mentioned the color tattoos, and that's a product I succumb to. I have many of the color tattoos, perhaps even all of them. I'm not sure. I prefer not to shop Maybelline. Maybelline in general isn't clean product. It's certainly not natural. It's certainly not organic. Maybelline is involved in animal testing. So for all sorts of reasons, I wish I weren't buying Maybelline, and I'm much happier when I'm doing purchases from something like the All Natural Face. However, yeah, the color tattoos. One standout for me that is neither drugstore nor high-end would be Pumpkin and Poppy. It's a nice mid-range line. It's available on Artfire or Etsy. It's a one-woman shop. It's an indie company. I love Pumpkin and Poppy. That's veggiebeauty here on YouTube. Christy Cuts Forth on Twitter. So Pumpkin and Poppy was a standout for me in 2012. Another standout for me in 2012, and I realize this isn't really cosmetics or makeup per se, but it would be skincare. And one thing that stood out a whole lot for me were the Shea Terra cleansing products, and particularly their gommage, but also their toning spritzing water. And I love the rose water ester C in particular. And since skincare is a big part of makeup, I don't really separate them. If my skin is looking good, my makeup's going to look better. I'm going to go ahead and put in Shea Terra. Question 2, best new discovery of 2012. Again, Shea Terra Gommage. It really cleans my pores and moisturizes my face. Product seems to go on better after it, so that was a real standout for me. Another one was some Truth in Aging products. Their Ultra Renew, which is the sonic, and then the LED light therapies. Best rediscovery, a product that I fall in love with over and over again. That would have to be, again, a product that's not known for being natural, although the formulation isn't bad, which is what I would say about the Maybelline color tattoos as well. But the Big and Healthy lipsticks, particularly in Brooklyn and Shanghai, I just return to those again and again and again. Those work well for me. I put those on, I put another shade over it. When lipstick wears off, I still have that color underneath, and I really enjoy those colors. Another, not a rediscovery for me, but something that I just go to again and again and again, 100% Pure Mascara in Black Tea. I've been tempted to try a few other mascaras, but they're in the same price range as the 100% Pure, and I know the 100% Pure works for me, so I end up talking myself out of it and saying, look, you like it, stop there. Best seasonal product 2012. This was actually a hard one, and so let me just go through and tell you what I decided for that. Winter. For winter, I have to be all about moisture because I just dry out like crazy. I have uber dry skin, and it gets ridiculously dry in the winter. So I'm going to say that Shea Terra Rose Water and Ester C toner that I just used to spritz. You can use it, I think they recommend up to 3 times a day. I use that, and then I alternate with Evian water. The Celtic Complexion Night, they say it's a cream. I don't even know how to describe what it is. It's kind of gritty when it first comes out. It's not a gel. It's not an ointment, it's not a cream, whatever the heck it is, it really works to keep me moisturized. It does not have any SPF. I still use it during the day, but then I have to use something over it. The other product that I really liked for winter was the Cowgirl Dirt Foundation. If you can find a shade that matches for you, and if you are dry skin, that stuff is great. It has really good longevity. It lasts all day, and I don't get all dry and wrinkled out and prune-like at the end of the day. Love that. Reds, reds, reds. I really enjoyed using red lipstick, red blush, red on the eyes. I discovered red for the winter season. For spring, it was all things coral. That started really when I did a look that jeanfrancoiscd did. I just imitated that look and realized how much I enjoyed having corals. Never really realized that that was a color, that pink and orange combination was something that I would enjoy wearing so much, but I did. Likewise, in the summer, orange. I usually stay away from orange. I tend to think about orange as bad 1980 product. A lot of the early natural products were things that went orange, or bad foundation that oxidizes on the skin. That was my notion of orange. But I really discovered the joys of orange, particularly for the lips, the cheeks, and the eyes. Not for the skin so much, but definitely orange as a color. And for fall, metallics, 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 whether it be nails or eye pigments. I enjoyed metallics, and even metallics on the lips. So fall for me was all about metallics. Those would be some of the products. And then once I got into those color categories, holy cow, there are so many pigments. Once I stopped using pressed shadows and went with pigments, it was easier to go natural. It was easy to find color ranges. I got used to working with pigments again. And it's almost to the point where it's a little difficult for me to work with pressed shadows now. Usually what happens when I look at the pressed shadows, I don't like what's being used to preserve them in their pressed form. And so I just prefer to go ahead and work with the pigments. Best and worst limited edition collections in 2012. Well, I didn't really purchase a lot of those other than those from indie companies. And so I would say two that stand out from Pumpkin and Puppy are Arabian Nights and One Ring collections. Those are my favorite Pumpkin and Puppy collections thus far. Another one that stood out was the My Beauty Addiction Autumn Grace collection. So those three collections. I don't really have collections that I just absolutely hated that I purchased in 2012. I have to say that Smashbox Mega Palette, which I would have gotten in 2011, is I don't know if it's even limited edition. I imagine it was, but yeah, that probably would be, for the price point and for what it was, one that I would say no. Most regretted purchase of 2012, all the greenwash product that I bought. I went natural as part of my New Year's resolution for 2012. And for the first couple of months, almost 2.5 months, I was using all sorts of product that was marked natural, and even in some cases would be marked natural and organic. And it wasn't until I really started to research more and more and more about what was in my products that I realized that a lot of things that I thought were natural were in fact greenwashed. And then I had all of this new product that was, quote, natural that I had to put in my rainy day kit. And at that point, once it's got phenoxyethanol and once it has these other things, yeah, it has some good natural product in it and it has some good organic product in it, but then it's preserved. And so at that point, well, heck, I could go get Dior or Lancome or, any other number of product lines. That wasn't what I wanted to be about. I really wanted to try to go natural and organic. Those were my most regretted purchases. Anything that I purchased that was greenwashed, that was more disappointing to me than just the things that don't even claim to be natural or organic. Number 7, YouTube and beauty highlights in 2012. Well, I've learned a lot on YouTube and a lot on Twitter, although people say you can't learn from those sources. Yeah, you can. It's a fantastic resource. Of course, you have to check your sources, but quite frankly, when you're working in print, you have to check your sources. And just in life in general, check your sources, of course. Know where your information comes from. My thoughts about natural and organic product were really dated. I was working and operating out of the 1980s. And I had kind of convinced myself, okay, I'll go natural and organic and I'll see what's out there, but it's not probably going to be very good and it's not going to be effective and I'm not going to enjoy it. And so this is going to be a chore. No, 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 no. The natural and organic world has really, really changed and it is an exciting space to be in. The products for skincare are amazing. The cosmetics are amazing. More and more stuff coming out all the time. The internet makes it possible. Yeah, you can't really go to Sephora or to Ulta or to the department stores to pick it up. But boy, you can get on the internet and you can shop indie companies and find so much good product out there. So definitely all things natural and organic. The other thing I discovered in 2012, and so I would consider it a highlight for me, subscription services. Who knew? Things like the Good Box, the Natural Beauty Box, the Glamour Doll Eyes of the Month, the Truth in Aging subscription. Fantastic ways of learning about and testing product. You can get on YouTube and watch other people open the boxes and see what they think about the products. And so, yeah, those subscription services and the kind of YouTube and Twitter verse world that goes with those, I really enjoy. The other thing I would say, and I haven't been very good about it, I'd give myself a C+, I suppose. Channels that raise my awareness of animal testing. There are several of them, and I will continue to follow my vegan colleagues and to learn more about animal testing. But those have been eye-opening for me, I suppose because I thought about animal testing the same way that I thought about natural and organic, which is that animal testing is just the price of doing business. It's something necessary. You can't get good product without it. You know, in the same way that I would think you couldn't get good products unless they were chemical or unless they were preserved within an inch of their lives or unless you spent a certain amount of money on it, even though I know that a lot of that money goes for paying overhead, it goes for paying retail space, for having people there, all sorts of things. You pay, to keep the lights on. So channels that raised my awareness of animal testing to get back on track were highlights for me in 2012. Of course, the other part of the highlights for me are just all the people who do their unboxings, makeup bag of the week, who do favorite videos, who do empties videos, who do looks videos. I love the community that exists on YouTube and on Twitter. How fortunate to have stumbled upon that in 2012 at my ripe age of 53. What is my favorite or best video on my own channel? That is question number 8. And I'm going to say the Beauty and Brains Challenge. I keep my real life and my YouTube life pretty well segregated. I don't use my real name on YouTube, and there's a reason for that. If I used my real name, I'd have to have like all these disclaimers. These views are not the views of the university, which seems silly to me because, I'm talking about makeup and skincare. It was nice to be able in one video to kind of put together both sides of my life, the side of me that's a geeky professor and the side of me that loves beauty products and makeup and cosmetic and skincare and all of those kinds of things. In short, the Brains and Beauty Challenge would be my favorite video from my site. Number 9, best recommendation of 2012 from someone else. This is hard because there's so many of those, but I'm going to just focus on a few of them. First of all, I won some NYCGeorgette brushes from Twitter, from a Twitter giveaway that NYCGeorgette was doing. And I would not have tried the NYCGeorgette brushes otherwise, and I found out that I really like those brushes, so that would be one. The other thing in terms of recommendations, Project Tin Pans. What a fantastic idea. I'd never really thought about doing something like that. So Project Tin Pans was something that I learned about and am inspired by. Likewise, Pink So Foxy's Makeout 2013, Shopping Your Stash in 2013 really appeals to me. I can't say I'll be a purist about it, but it is something that I am going to try. Number 10, best makeup tool for 2012. Surprising to me, my Smashbox Push Liner Brush. Don't know how I survived without it. That could also be a rediscovery for me. It's been in my kit for a long time. The Laranine Eye Kabuki brush that I used to blend with, that one I came down without. That one I ended up purchasing another one to keep at the beach house. I really missed not having it. Another thing I really enjoy using, it's something else that I pick up at Whole Foods, is Aubrey Organics mineral water, and I add tea tree to that. That really helps in terms of spraying brushes with that, spraying sponges with that. It helps both to supply moisture to my skin, but also gives me a little bit of antiseptic properties. Number 11, what are the products you are excited to try in 2013? Well, I'm still looking for a good natural organic day cream with SPF. I'm currently using Davita, and I could live with that, but I can also be swayed on that front. So I'm really hoping that in my subscription services, which I'm very much looking forward to, will be some really good natural organic day creams with SPF that I can try out. So that's one thing. I am looking forward to new collections from Pumpkin and Poppy, of course. Can't wait to see what Christy Cuts Forth or Veggie Beauty comes up with in 2013. And I'm really looking forward to the OTMs or of the month from Glamour Doll Eyes and to new collections that Glamour Doll Eyes might be. I enjoy that. I'll keep my eye on My Beauty Addiction. Trying to think, maybe Darling Girl Cosmetics. There's a few of them that I'll keep my eye on and just see what kinds of collections come out. I am going to try, at least in spirit, to do Make Out 2013, so I won't go hog wild on collections this year, but I'm going to keep my eyes out for special things that I see. Number 12, will you do a makeup collection in 2013 or an updated version? I would love to be able to answer yes to that, but my first response was heavens no. My makeup is split between the beach hut and my Kentucky house in Kentucky. It's in several different places. It's not disorganized, but it's not nicely organized. It's not anything I would say, oh, people would just be dying to see that. I will, however, promise to do an update on Going Natural. It will be a year since I started this project, and I'm really looking forward to that. I first started making videos on spring break last year, which I think was March. It was mid-March, maybe around March 15th, 16th. So I'll also be having my 1-year anniversary coming up, and I'm really looking forward to that. But I think right ahead of me, what I'm most looking forward to doing is sitting down and talking about my year of Going Natural and what I learned during that year. So that's it. That is my highlights of 2012. I want to thank Brigitte and Cornelia especially for inviting me to play along with this. I know I don't shop in the way a lot of people do because I don't really think in terms anymore of drugstore and high end. I really work a lot with indie companies. I really spend a lot of time shopping online. I try to be neither too preachy nor too nerdy, but you know, I'm a nerd, so I'm always nerding out and talking about what ingredients are in my product. Where's that phenoxyethanol? Where are those parabens? Where's that sodium benzoate? So it's just part of who I am. For that reason, I appreciated all the more that Brigitte and Cornelia invited me to play along on this highlights of 2012 tag. We are getting ready for a new year, so I'm really looking forward to watching the highlights of 2012 videos and to seeing what people are looking forward to in 2013. I wish all of you a happy and healthy new year, and one that is rich in friendships and in love of things that you love to do, things that float your boat. As always, make it a great end of the week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.